All right, a little bit of breaking news here. Looks like the Mets are re-signing Jesse Winker on a one-year, $8 million deal. Um, Great. It was something I expected, something I wanted. Great backup outfielder slash DH option for them. Good deal overall. Now the bigger news is at the same time it's being reported by Andy Martino that the Mets are now pivoting to Plan B and don't see Pete Alonso coming back as the most likely option. That him signing elsewhere is the more likely option. I don't really know what to say about this. It's not something I expected to happen. I don't even know if it's true. Andy Martino has been right about a lot of things, but he's also been very wrong about a lot of things as well. Most notably, the whole Soto situation. He was saying the whole time basically that the Mets were not a favorite, Mets were not in it. They felt like they were out. Some of that turned out to be true. There was times where they felt they were out. Um, yeah, I don't. If that's actually what's going on right now, I don't know what the plan is. Um, we had some reporting yesterday that they checked in on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I don't see that as a likely possibility. Um, the talk is that Pete's negotiating with the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays are saying that it would be to add him with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to replace him in the lineup and knowing that they're going to trade him and get a prospect haul to try to rebuild. I don't know. Why would you rebuild with Pete Alonso and trade away a 25-year-old instead of just signing the 25-year-old? Doesn't make a ton of sense. So I really hope this isn't the plan. I mean, I guess we have to see how it plays out. Like I said, I don't buy it 100% at this point. I don't see it as set in stone. This could be more bluster. This could be more. We saw reports yesterday that the Mets have told Scott Boras and Pete Alonso that they need an answer soon. They need to know if they're going to be re-signing him. And if they're not, they need to move on. Maybe they were told that they weren't. Maybe this is all just to try to get the ball rolling a little bit here. I don't know. It's a little shocking, to be honest with you. The whole time I've expected that. Oh yeah, Pete will just be back. They'll sign him. It's not. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when. Um, and then I, I've said often that if the Mets don't get Alonso back, then Santander would be a perfect replacement. Give you basically the same production power wise in the lineup. But it doesn't seem like they're really interested there either. Maybe if he's willing to take a 1 year deal, it's something they look at. But I don't think there's really interest there. I think if what plan B is considered, which is what we've been told, is if there's no Alonso, then they're going to go with maybe Vientos at first base and try out Beatty and Mauricio at third. It just feels like a punt. It just feels like you're not going for it. All you basically did was replace Alonso's bat in the lineup with Soto. Yes, he's a better bat, but you didn't get better. You didn't really get that much better. I don't understand how you have prime years of Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto, and you think that that's just going to be enough. You need to surround them in the lineup with other pieces. Listen, we all love Mark Vientos. He had a great second half last year. He had a great playoffs. He was the reason why we got so far. But do we know that that's what he's going to be? We don't know that. That could be a flash in the pan. Most guys in their second year actually struggle more than in their first year. Pitchers figure them out. Can we count on 35 home runs for him this year? I don't think so. He might. He's a 50-50 shot. But it's not something you can count on. This lineup without Alonso in it is not very good. After Lindor and Soto, Nimmo is. I mean, he had a terrible year last year too. Yes, his power numbers were up, but his average was like 220. He wasn't the same player last year. Is he regressing or was that an aberration? Who knows? I just don't think this lineup is great. I think I think it can be great, but they're expecting things that aren't sure things. With Alonso, you know what you have. He's going to hit for a low average. He's going to strike out a ton, but he can hit home runs. And that's what they're missing in the lineup, the big power hitter. Maybe he's being unrealistic. Maybe he still wants $40 million a year. Maybe. And yes, if he wants that much money, the Mets are right not to offer it to him. But I can't imagine at this point that that's what he's asking for. Because who else is willing to give him that? Maybe the Blue Jays are so desperate to sign someone to make themselves a destination for free agents that they're willing to just throw money at him. Maybe. I don't. It's being reported that it's between the Mets, Blue Jays, and a third mystery team. With Scott Boras, there's always a mystery team. With John Heyman, there's always a mystery team. Like I've expected the Giants to be in on it. I haven't really heard anything about them. Maybe they're the mystery team. It's just strange. We're expecting, if this is how it's going to happen, we're expecting big years out of Vientos and Alvarez, who had a down year last year. You're expecting them to be better. Yeah, you would expect Vientos to be better. You would expect Alvarez to be better. But you can't say with 100% certainty that they will. You know what you're going to get out of Alonso. He's going to give you at least 30, 35 home runs every year. He'll luck into 35 home runs a year. That's just what he had his worst year last year. He had 34. I don't know how you replace that with Brett Beatty and Ronnie Mauricio. Ronnie Mauricio, after missing a whole year of baseball, and Brett Beatty, who is a 4A player. He's great in the minors. As soon as he comes up to the majors, he's terrible. Maybe this is a punt. Maybe they're saying Vladdy's a free agent next year. That's when we really go for it. I mean, Scherzer did say that when he left. When he accepted a trade, when he waived his no trade clause, he said that he was told by the Mets 2024 was a transition year. They weren't looking to compete until 2025, or more likely than that, 2026. Maybe that's been the plan all along. Stearns it wasn't legal for him to do it, but he was orchestrating things from Milwaukee. We all know that. He was basically on a leave of absence from Milwaukee in 2023. And he was talking to Cohen and Epler in that time. He knew he was going to get hired. We don't have any proof, and we don't want there to be proof because we don't want that out there. But we know that was what was happening. He was calling all the shots. So maybe that was the plan all along. I hate it. I don't know why you sign Juan Soto and then punt everywhere else. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But it looks like the people who are bashing Stearns and bashing Cohen might be right. Or maybe I'm just being dumb. I don't know. We take it with a grain of salt because it comes from Andy Martino. He's a Yankee boy. He loves the Yankees. He always reports positively about Yankee things and negatively about the Mets. He's an SNY employee. He doesn't work for the Mets. I think they feed him the information they want him to know, not what's actually going on. So it could all just be a ploy. That's what I'm hoping. Maybe I'm coping on that. Maybe I'm still holding out hope. Maybe Pete Alonso's mad. Maybe he doesn't want to be a Met. There was reporting that he was upset when they offered him that extension a year and a half ago, that it was less than what Brandon Nimmo signed for. Maybe that made him sour on the Mets. Maybe he's been saying all the right things, but he doesn't actually mean it. Maybe he wants more from the Mets than he would from anyone else. Maybe he'll sign for $30 million a year elsewhere, but he wants $40 million from the Mets. It's possible. At this point, if this is how it's going, Stearns never wanted him. I've said it before, he doesn't seem like a Stearns type of player. So it's possible that Stearns just really had no interest in bringing him back, but was stringing it along to keep us happy because they know he's a fan favorite and he knew he wasn't really going to replace him. So maybe it's going to be, hey, we tried. We offered him this. He didn't want to sign it. We offered him the highest AAV, but he wanted more years. So we let him walk. It's business. It's how it works. But I don't know how you come off of last season and get worse, even after signing Soto. I wouldn't say they're worse, but they're not better. They're not better than they were last year. They brought back Winker to basically be in the same role as he was in last year. You sign Soto, but you lose Pete. I don't see how they got better. Not not significantly better, not good enough to beat the Dodgers, not good enough to beat the Braves, a healthy Braves team. So I'm a little bit disappointed today. Um, could all be for nothing. Who knows? Maybe this is all just talk and he still ends up back. Who knows? But right now, it doesn't seem likely. It seems to me that this was the plan all along, and they never really wanted him unless it was a 1 year deal or maybe a 2 year deal, that they had no interest in him. And I think they're really planning for the future. And I think that they're looking more at 2026 and the free agency class of 2026. Looking at Vladdy, they'd rather go with him long term than Pete. And maybe they see Vientos as a first baseman long term. Maybe I don't even know what else to say. It's kind of beyond me at this point. I've been defending them on every step, and maybe I'm just being overreactionary right now. It's possible, but it just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem like it's the off season that we thought it was going to be. After all the excitement with Soto, and then bringing back Manaya, and then you just kind of punt. Pitching staff, I don't know if it's as good. Oh, there's talk now that the plan B is bringing in a big time reliever. Okay, I'd rather have a great offense. Yes, I know bullpen is important, but I'd rather sign a bunch of guys who might work out than one guy for 20 million, and then still have Pete. If it's one or the other, I would take Pete over Tanner Scott. Anyway, I don't want to keep this going too much longer. Just wanted to jump on because it's kind of nuts. But please, if you're still watching, uh, like the video, subscribe, uh, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If I'm overreacting, if you think that this is all just smoke, if you think Martino's right, if you think Martino's wrong, let me know. Let's have a conversation. But until next time, let's go Mets.